So I'm going to take you through what's new in Alias 2021. Session is going to be broken up into multiple segments. So we'll start with the general introductions and the general session. 3 different sessions for modeling, NURBS, modeling that combines NURBS and SubDivs, and then also SubD modeling. Some things about visualization and translation as well. So look out for all the videos. So a quick introduction about myself. I'm Robin Oldroyd. I'm based in Dedington in Oxfordshire. I've been working for Autodesk now for 14 years, which is quite a surprise actually. It's come around quickly. And I started using Alias back in 1992 at Teesside University. I predominantly work with customers in industrial design and visualization at Autodesk. So any customers in automotive, customers in product design and supply chain to automotive. And I've predominantly had technical roles while I've been at Autodesk in support consulting and technical roles like I'm doing now, which is technical specialist for Alias, VRED and Shotgun. Prior to that, I worked at Alias for 10 years, which is quite a surprise that it's now been at Autodesk longer than Alias. And you can see my contact details there if you need to get in touch. So this is what we're going to go through over the next number of sessions. We're going to do the first and second session together. And then we're going to do NURBS modeling, subdivision modeling, visualization, data translation as separate elements. This is just kind of replicating meetings we're having with customers online, so ignore the timings on this. It'll be slightly different. So Alias 2021, we are continuing our mission to empower studios to use technology to help them with their creativity and collaboration. We're looking to make studios more agile and faster, develop better products by doing more iterations and more quickly. So that hasn't changed much from previous last few releases. We're looking to perfect the software, innovate and bridge to the future. Perfecting is all those things that users want every day and they things that really matter. So selection sets, bring those back in to use them in the modeling paradigm. Enhancements, a lot of enhancements to SubDiv workflows, refining things but adding some major new functionality with things like the retopology tool for working with scan data. New surface and curve fillet options, and you can see a long list of other things. Other things to highlight here are the history visualizer, a new window, a new panel for viewing history and being able to reconnect and use history in your daily work. Reference Manager continues to have its enhancements from 2020, but also in 2021 we had the ability to use assemblies and work with assemblies in Alias using the Reference Manager as a core component of that. And then there's a number of things to do with replacing shaders and data translation that we'll talk about on the last session. As always, we put a lot of effort into the software every year, and with the quarterly releases, the point releases, we continue to fix bugs and we would like to highlight this nowadays because we really want people to communicate with us the issues you have, and we want to make sure those issues get fixed and addressed. Often it will need further conversation. It can't just be a single line entry to fix a bug. We need to dig deeper to find out what the real issue is and understand the workflows that you have. And you can see here we've got 126 feature improvements, some big tools, some just small minor tweaks to things. But as always, there's a lot of effort gone into the release, and hopefully it's something that appeals to you. Feedback so far from other customers has been quite amazing. A lot of key tools that they're actually getting in their hands now that they can use and want to deploy more quickly. So let's move on to the general improvements. General improvements in Alias that affect a variety of different things that affect your workflow. So the first new thing is we've added in a new splash screen. So here you can see the new splash screen. That new splash screen is a bit more modern and clean. It also adds in additional workflows. So now we've got the default workflow that probably a lot of people use, a workflow for SubDivs, which is totally new. So that's Control-5 for that SubDiv workflow, Class A workflow, Paint workflow, and a Create VR workflow. So now that we can go directly into those areas specifically when we start the software, and if we want, we can also customize them further. You also see that we've got a new set of marking menus for subdivision surface modeling. So we've got the pick edge, vertex, objects, face loops, etc. that are relevant to what we're doing. And we use some updated controls in Transform, which we'll talk about later on. If you also want to use these workflows, you can, now have multiple different marking menus in different areas. Does mean copying across some of your preferences to these different areas to keep them similar, but there is a lot of advantages to fine-tuning your interface and continue to fine-tune it. In general improvements, we've added a new option for saving your customized layout. So once you've got a layout that works for you and you like, you can save it and make it your default. Simple little things, but these little things matter to some people when they've been using things and have to customize it every time they work with it. And just to highlight, on the top bar here, we've got which product or what version of the product these features are available in. So you can see this is available in Concept, Surface, and Auto Studio. And also where we see this is it in the perfecting, the innovating, or bridging to the future. Improvements in selection sets. So selection sets have now been reintroduced. We've enhanced them so they now work within the object lister, and we've got the option for multiple or exclusive use. So let's go and have a look at that. So here we've just got a model that we're going to work with for this example. So let's have a look at the object lister. First of all, you'll see that we've got the different groups of the model, usual things that we would see in the object lister. So expand this a little bit. And if I click on the arrow, you can see that we've already got some selection sets made. Here, the badge, if I pick it and focus on it, you can see that it's highlighted. I can select and manipulate those and work with them. Then I've got a number of CVs that I've selected across multiple surfaces. So here I've got two separate surfaces, and I can select a selection set across both. I've got something for the whole of the front shoulder, and I've got the complete bumper selected, so I can very quickly go modify, scale, or move that. So how do I create these selection sets? Well, selection sets is something from the old Power Animator days that we've just enhanced and reintroduced. In here you can see the selection sets that I've made. Well, how's about we go and make a new one? So if I pick these control vertices here, I can go in and say Edit, Create Selection Set. Let's just go to the options for a second. Selection set have exclusivity or multiple. For this one, I'm just going to say multiple. Okay, that means I can use it and I can cross over and have multiple different things applied in the same selection set. So if I just pick down this row, I can use the same again, and that's replacing, or not replacing, that's keeping one of the same selection sets across there. So now I've got two new selection sets for those groups of CVs, as well as this group. Now if I go and pick these CVs, which cross over too, and I say create selection set, I can say multiple again, and now I can pick those. It must be that, yeah, that was not selecting the same selection set, so I can have multiple. If I now go in and I say pick CVs here, I could actually say create selection set and make that exclusive. That exclusive selection set will come up with a warning because there's already a selection set in there, and it means that now when I pick that selection set, it only picks the one CV that wasn't part of an exclusive selection set. So those are selection sets. Great new tool and great new way to be able to modify, pick and manipulate those selection sets. We can actually go and pick selection sets from within here as well. So I can go in and select on the geometry, and I can see those different sets, and I can grab them from within here. So they are also visible as elements in the interface, not just the shoulder surface and so on, but I can use those selection sets from within the UI. I don't have to go to the object lister. So in addition to some of those other changes, we've also added in a couple of things to the printing interface. We now have a line thickness, so you can adjust the line thickness for the line thickness for the wireframe, locators, raster, and vector styles of printing. Vector printing now supports colors as well, so we can get colors out of there, and I know this is something customers have been asking for. So we're going to move on now to the next section, which is NURBS modeling. So we'll split that into another video, so look out for that.